welcome. My name's Emily and this is my husband Danny, who's going to be demonstrating for me today because I'm pregnant. We're going to be doing a hip opening flow today to just release some tension, make some space in those hips. It should feel really nice. Okay, so we're going to start lying down today. So if you come to lie down, maybe the other way, sorry. Come to lie down, and then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and then the knees out nice and wide. So it's called bound angle. So you can stay like this with the feet quite close to the hips like Danny is doing. This can get quite uncomfortable quite quickly. So if you find that you're uncomfortable already as it is, you can move your feet further away from you, as far away from you as you like really, until you can get relatively comfortable. If you're starting higher up and after a while it gets uncomfortable, then feel free just to ease them out. Don't suffer. You know, yoga's meant to feel good. That's the aim. Okay, so bringing your hands to your belly just as Danny's doing here. Soles of the feet together, knees nice and wide. I just want you to start to deepen your breath and just start to relax the body. You can close your eyes. Notice if you're holding any tension in your jaw and across your forehead. And just let these go, let those places relax. Let your shoulders relax. Let your knees and your hips relax. And just bring your attention to your belly. If you're keeping those breaths nice and deep, you should be able to feel that belly rising on the inhale and falling on the exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Keeping that going. Just trying to bring as much attention to the sensation of the breath rather than letting your thoughts wander, which is really easy to do. If you notice your thoughts are wandering off, just bring your attention back to the breath. So we're doing this just to arrive on the mat, to slow the body down. It's definitely a period of stress and uncertainty at the moment in the world, so it's really important to find this time to relax. And well done you for rolling out your mat and arriving here today with us. Okay, starting to relax your attention away from your breath now. We're going to come into a wind relieving pose, which is a funny name for a very nice pose. So, straightening both legs out towards the end of the mat. Have a little peek at the video if you're not sure. From here, we're going to inhale in and bring the right knee in towards the chest. So you're just bending the right knee in towards the chest, interlacing your fingers and then bringing them around the knee. If you can't reach your knee, then you can bring your hands to the back of the thigh underneath the knee instead, whichever feels more comfortable. Once you're comfortable, just breathing here and gently pulling that knee in towards the chest. So you're just seeing what space you've got, seeing how that feels. You want to make sure you're nice and active through the left foot, so point those toes up towards the ceiling. And don't forget to breathe. Okay, from here, I just want you to start to rock the knee side to side. So you're just bringing the knee right to left, just really gently. If you feel like your body's tipping over a little bit, you can just pop your left hand on your left hip. Just press it down, just helps you to anchor down into the mat. And then just use your right hand to guide that knee left and right. You don't have to come quite as far as Danny's coming here, it just depends on how your hips feel today. Lovely. We're going to bring both hands around the knees again, just to finish off, and gently squeeze in one more time, in towards the chest. Nice big inhale. And then exhale, straighten out that leg. And we're going to relax for a second, reset, and then on your next inhale, bringing the left knee in towards the chest, interlacing your fingers around that knee or underneath that knee, and then just gently, gently squeezing in here. So you might be feeling quite tight, we're definitely at the beginning of practice, so just being nice and gentle with yourself, remembering to keep active through through the right toes this time, pointing those toes up towards the ceiling. So nice and aware through the whole body, even though we're focusing on that left knee. Okay, from here, you can start rocking the knee just side to side. starting to see what space you've got in your hips on this side. And again, if you find that you're rocking a little bit, you can pop your right hand on your right hip to help you anchor down. It's totally up to you. Remembering to breathe. If anything's feeling particularly tight, just notice that. Breathe into those areas. And just keep going. Okay, from here we're going to interlace the fingers again around the knee. Nice big inhale, one more squeeze. And then exhale, straightening that leg out again. Well done. Okay, from here we're going to bring the soles of the feet to the mat. So you've got your knees pointing up towards the ceiling. That's it. You want to bring your feet in a little bit closer. Is that comfortable? Great. So they want to be fairly close to your glutes, but we're going to be pushing up, so you want to have the space. Your body will tell you if your feet aren't quite in the right position in a second, so you can adjust. But with knees pointing straight up, feet about hip width distance apart and pointing down towards the end of the mat. You've got your hands palms down on the mat on either side of you. You just want to take a nice deep breath to prepare. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale in and engage the glutes and engage the thighs and start to lift the hips slowly up towards the ceiling. Moving nice and slowly, moving the hips all the way up. Seeing if you can relax the neck and relax the jaw here. It's really easy to hold tension there. Pressing up, lovely, taking a few breaths here. If your knees are feeling really tight, it might mean that your feet are a bit too close to your body, so you just move them a little bit further away. Lovely, and then exhale, just coming down. You might want to move your feet just a tad bit mildly. Okay. On your next inhale, we're going to start to roll up this time. So I want you to focus on your base of your spine. And as you inhale, start lifting your hips and then rolling up the spine. Almost like your spine's a wave, rolling all the way up. Lovely. Inhale. And at the beginning of your exhale, starting to roll down, starting at the top of your spine, rolling all the way down, and your hips the last thing to touch the mat. And again, inhale up, lifting up from the hips, rolling up the spine. And then exhale, rolling down the spine. Lovely, one more time. Inhale, coming up from the hips. Nice big deep breath, and exhale, rolling slowly down the spine. Perfect, relaxing here, letting that back settle into the mat. Noticing if you're holding any tension in your shoulders from that, you know, the tension in the, what's it called? Concentration of pointing those hips up. Okay, from here, you're going to bring the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug, so wrap your hands around your knees. You can rock a little bit side to side here to release some tension in the lower back, which should feel good. And then from here, we're going to hold on to the backs of the knees. So you want to bring your hands to the backs of the knees, and we're going to have a go at rolling up. So give this a go. If it feels really uncomfortable, then I'll show you another way to come up in a second. But otherwise, starting to build up a bit of momentum, I feel like you're going to kick me in the face. And just starting to rock up. Go on, go for it. I'll move that way. That's it. If that's not comfortable and you're struggling to get momentum, you can just turn onto one side and walk your hands around and just use them to support you coming up. Okay, from here, let's straighten that out a little bit. Okay, from here, we're going to sit up nice and tall, bringing the hands to the knees, lifting up from the crown of the head, closing the eyes again, and exhale. We're going to come into a twist. So I want you to bring your right hand to your left knee. Left hand comes to the floor behind you, just behind your spine. I want you to inhale, lift up from the crown of the head, and exhale, turning towards the left. So just turn to look over the left shoulder. You don't want to be pulling too hard on that knee, so you're just letting the spine, just finding what space is already in the spine rather than forcing it. Every inhale, you're lifting up, making lots of space. And every exhale, you're just seeing if you can turn into that space just a little bit more. One more deep breath. Beautiful, and then coming back to center. From here, we're going to move straight onto the other side, so popping the left hand on the right knee, right hand to the floor behind you. Inhale to lift up nice and tall, and exhale to turn and look over the right shoulder. Lovely. Every inhale, lifting up nice and tall, and exhale, just gently turning over the right shoulder. One more breath here. Lovely, and then turning back to center. Perfect. From here, we're going to come onto hands and knees. So coming over the knees, and we're going to bring the knees directly underneath the hips. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders, nice neutral spine. So once you're in a nice tabletop position, I want you to just focus on having that long line between your tailbone and the crown of your head looking straight down at the mat. Nice and engaged through your core, so zipping that belly button in towards your spine. Breathing here. Okay, from here on your next inhale, I want you to dip the belly, shine the chest forwards, lift the gaze and lift the tailbone. You're creating a nice arch in your back, nice big inhale. Exhale, reversing that shape, so rounding through the back, pointing the head down, pointing the tailbone down. Lovely. Inhale, lifting the chest, lifting the tailbone, dipping the belly. And exhale, rounding through the spine. Beautiful. Really pushing up through those shoulder blades, enjoying that stretch there. Inhale, dipping the belly, coming into cow. And exhale, coming into cat. Lovely. One more on each side. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. Coming back to centre, back to neutral I should say. From here we're going to bring the toes together, knees about as wide as the mat, and then gently sinking the hips back towards the heels, coming into child's pose. So you want to relax the forehead down on the ground. You're relaxing the arms in front of you. You can stretch out a little bit here. You want to be able to relax your elbows down though, just taking a nice relaxed child's pose. If your hips are really lifted here, don't worry too much, just gently encouraging them back towards the heels on every exhale. And every inhale, focusing on that nice space from the tailbone to the crown of the head again. Relaxing through the front body, relaxing the back body, coming into rest here. Keeping that breath nice and deep, of course. Great. From here, we're going to start to lift up. So I want you to bring your hands back a little bit and start to come back up into that tabletop position. We're going to straighten the legs out, bring the knees underneath the hips, and I want you to tuck your toes and then start to lift up into downward facing dog. So you're lifting your hips nice and high, making this nice triangle shape, mountain shape. If you find that your back is rounding a lot, you can bend your knees here to release some tension. You want to be relaxing your neck here, so maybe you want to shake your head, yes and no a little bit. Nice and engaged through the hands, strong through the hands. You might want to pedal out through one leg and then the other, just to encourage a bit of space. Lovely. Perfect. And then from here, coming up onto your toes, look forwards and just take a little walk up towards the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. So from here, just letting the top body hang down. Again, you can bend the knees as much as you want here to feel comfortable. If you're really enjoying the stretch in the back of the legs, then you can straighten them up if you want, but whatever's comfortable. You want your back to be able to relax, so keeping as much of a bend as you want. Again, relaxing the neck. Notice if you're holding any tension here. So from here, we're going to start to roll up. So on your next inhale, I want you to start to roll up from the base of the spine, moving up vertebrae by vertebrae, unraveling the spine. Lovely. Once you start to reach the top, I want you to lift your shoulders up towards the ears, back and down. Perfect. Palms facing forward, standing up lovely and tall in mountain pose. You want to make sure your feet are underneath your hips, about hip width distance apart. Perfect. Eyes closed if you can, just to check in with your body, noticing how you're feeling. Great. And then from here, we're going to come into a sun salutation. So on your next inhale, I want you to sweep the arms up above the head, bring the palms together, and then exhale, slowly bring them down through heart center. Lovely. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, sweeping up, bashing the wall. Exhale, coming all the way down now into a forward fold, rolling all the way down. Lovely. Next inhale, we're going to come into a halfway lift. So it's lengthening out through the spine, gaze forwards, hands come to shins. And then exhale, plant the hands on the mat and take a big step back to plank. Option to lower the knees here, which you do, lovely. And then exhale, lowering down with control all the way down to the mat. Lovely. Inhale, we're going to come into a low cobra, so lifting the chest, pulling those elbows back, beautiful. And then exhale, relaxing down. Inhale, tuck the toes and lift the hips. So we're going to roll all the way up into downward facing dog, so coming through a nice tabletop as Danny did here. Again, lifting those hips nice and high, making sure you're nice and engaged through the hands and the arms. Notice if your shoulders are creeping up towards your ears, relaxing them down away from your ears, relaxing the neck, pedaling out through the legs if you like. Perfect. And then from here, we're going to come up onto the toes, look forwards again, and then take a little big step up to the top of the mat. Nice big inhale coming into that flat back, and exhale, fold. Next, inhale, grounding down through the feet, sweeping the arms up, and then exhale, hands come down through heart center. Closing the eyes and just pausing here for a second. Back in the chin slightly. Have a little fidget if you need it. Brilliant. Okay. From here, we're going to inhale, sweeping the arms up above the head. Exhale, coming all the way down into that forward fold again. This time we're going to plant the hands and take a step back straight into downward facing dog. Lovely, lifting the hips nice and high. We're going to lift the left leg up now, and then exhale, bringing the knee through and planting the foot in between the hands. We're going to lower that back knee, and then inhale, lift the chest forwards. Make sure you're not collapsing down. Perfect. Exhale. On your next inhale, sweeping the arms up above the head, reaching up, opening up the arms as wide as you like. Perfect. And then planting the hands back down on the mat, framing that foot. From here, we're going to start to rock the hips back, coming into a half splits here. So just bringing the hips not quite so far back. You want your hips just about over the knee. It's fine if they're a little bit further back. Doesn't matter how bent that front leg is if you're quite tight. And just give yourself a bit of break. Inhale, opening up the chest, making sure you're lifting up nice and tall. Perfect. And then exhale, coming back forwards, planting the hands on either side of that front foot. And then from here, we're going to come into lizard. So I want you to bring your hand on the inside of the left foot, and then start to heel toe that foot out towards the side. From here, I want you to inhale again. Notice if you're collapsing into your shoulders. And just pause here. You want to untuck this back toe. Lovely. Just notice how you feel. Notice how much, if there's any tension in that left hip. It can be quite a tight area for some of us. If you're comfortable and no pressure, you can stay here. But if you're comfortable and you feel like you're quite open in that hip, you've got the option to come down a little bit. How are you feeling there? Okay. From here, if you find that you're struggling to get your elbow down, it's better just to come up. If you've got a yoga block or a big book, you can always bring that underneath your elbows, but listen to your body. If your hip is screaming at you, that's not a good sign. We want it to feel nice. So just being nice and gentle with yourself. Okay, one more breath here, wherever you are. Lovely. And then we're going to heel toe that left foot back in, bring the left hand on the outside of the foot, tuck the back toe, and then take a big step back to downward facing dog. Great. Resetting here, enjoying that lovely stretch. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift that right leg up, bending the right knee and bringing that foot all the way through in between the hands. Give it a helping hand if it needs it. And then lowering down off that back knee. Inhale, lifting the chest. Lovely, exhale. On your next inhale, sweeping the arms up above the head. Reaching up, nice straight arms. They can be as wide as you like again, making lots of space. And then bringing the hands back down to frame the front foot. Slowly starting to rock those hips back again now, coming into half splits. Lovely, lifting those front toes. Again, the front knee can be bent, whatever feels good for you. Just making sure you're staying nice and open across the chest. Perfect, and then starting to rock back forwards, framing that front foot with both hands. From here, we're going to come into lizard on this side. So bringing the hand on the inside of the foot, and then starting to heel toe that foot out. Lovely. From here, just seeing how you feel. You need to come up onto the fingertips or maybe even onto the fists to feel a bit better for your hips or your wrists, that's fine. Just pausing here and exploring what this side feels like. You've got the option to come down again on this side if it feels okay for your body, but no pressure. If you find that you could on the other side and you can't on this side, or vice versa, that's really normal. You're not balanced within the body, so just being nice and gentle to yourself. One more breath here wherever you are. Lovely, and then slowly making your way up if you're down. Bringing bringing that right hand on the outside of the foot and starting to heel toe that foot back in, tucking the back toes and taking a big step back to downward facing dog. Lovely. Okay, from here, coming up into the toes, looking forwards, taking a big step or a little walk up to the top of the mat, coming into that forward fold again. You can hold on to each elbow with each hand, just encouraging the shoulders and the neck to relax. Necks. You don't have two necks, I hope. Okay, and then from here, we're going to let go of the elbows if you've got them. Engage through the feet again, and we're going to sweep the hands up above the head one more time. Lovely. Reaching up, making lots of space. Bringing the hands to meet, and then exhale, bringing them down through heart center. Just pausing with your hands at heart center. Okay, Danny, we're going to have you come forwards. Lovely. From here, we're going to come into a tree pose. So it's a great balancing pose. You want to make sure that your feet are hip width distance apart and you're feeling nice and grounded. So really concentrate on the sensation of the ground beneath your feet. Great. You can relax the hands down if they're still at your heart. And I want you to find a focus point in front of you, a drishti point. Maybe don't use the video. Maybe use the top of the screen or something. Something that's not moving. We're going to use that for focus and it helps you balance. Okay, so starting on the right side, we're going to start to bring the awareness more towards the right foot, moving the weight onto the right side. And then we're going to start just at the lowest level. So we're going to bring the left foot onto the inside of that right ankle, just resting the foot on the floor still and the heel just against your ankle, knee pointing out towards the left. Great. If this is where you're comfortable, you can stay here. Otherwise, option to bring the foot just up a little bit, to bring it on the inside of the shin. Great. And if you're comfortable here, then option to just help that foot up onto the inside of the thigh. Depending on your balance, on different days, it can feel totally different. Just want to make sure your foot's not pressing too hard into your knee, making sure it's above or below ideally, but just see how you feel. You'll bring your hands together at heart center if it's going to help you balance. Or yogi's choice really, whatever you want to do with your hands. You can bring them to your sides, you can rest them on your legs, you can reach them up above your head. Have a little bit of a wave, like a tree in the wind. Well done. Look at your balance today. Amazing. Okay, breathing here. Focusing on that nice open hip, that lovely sensation, whichever variation you're in. Perfect. And then relaxing that foot down nice and slowly. You can pedal out through the feet a little bit. If you're feeling it in your right ankle, then just give that ankle a little bit of a shake. Okay, so moving the attention over onto the other side now. We're going to start to bring the attention to the left foot this time. Resetting here. And then we're going to bring the right foot onto the inside of that left ankle. So starting at the bottom again, knee pointing out here. You can either stay here or slowly moving that foot a little bit higher up the leg. Pausing here for a second, finding your focus. And if it's available to you, bringing that foot up onto the inside of that left thigh. If you're bringing your foot all the way up, just making sure that your thigh and your foot are pressing with equal force into each other. Knee pointing nicely out to the side. Lovely. And again, bringing your hands to any variation that feels nice to you. Seeing as we did the balance challenge on the other side, we may as well do it on this side, reaching up. The look of panic in your eyes. Lovely. It doesn't matter how many times you fall out. If you find that you keep falling out, don't get frustrated with yourself. Just give your body the time and your muscles the time to learn this balance. So just keep coming back. That's the important thing. Lovely. One more breath wherever you are. And then exhale, relaxing that foot down. You can give that left ankle, it's little I suppose, a little shake out. Make sure you feel nice and loose and happy. Great. Okay, from here, making your way up to the top of your mat if you're not there already. We're going to inhale, sweeping the arms up above the head. And exhale, coming all the way down into a forward fold again. Lovely. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. Exhale, plant the hands and take a big step back to plank. Option to stay here in plank or lowering down onto the knees, your choice. And exhale, lowering down with control all the way down to the mat. Inhale, coming into that cobra again, lifting the chest forwards. Exhale, tucking the toes and lifting up into downward facing dog, just rolling through. Beautiful job. Last downward facing dog, so get the most out of it. Feel free to pedal out through the legs if that's still feeling good, or find some stillness. Nice deep breaths. And then from here we're going to lower down slowly onto the knees. Lovely. Bringing the feet together, knees nice and wide, and then sinking the hips back towards the heels, coming into child's pose again. Again, relaxing that head down, relaxing the body, relaxing through the back, encouraging those hips back down towards the heels. Focusing on breathing into the back body, breathing into the ribs, maybe letting some exhales go through your mouth, feel quite releasing. And then from here, we're going to start to walk the hands back up towards the legs, so you're going to start to sit back up. Lovely. Bringing the knees in to the centre, coming into the Thunderbolt, so you're sitting up nice and tall. Great. And then from here, we're just going to bring the hips over onto one side, so you're coming to sit on your bum. Reaching the legs forwards, and then you're going to come to lie all the way down. So shuffle yourself down, and then coming to lie nice and comfortably on your back. Great. Back where we started. Okay. From here, we're going to bring the soles of the feet back to the mat, knees pointing up, in that bridge position like we were before. This time I want you to bring your feet about as wide as the mat, and then relax the knees in towards each other. So they're sort of like a tent. And they should be able to relax. Great. So this is called Fallen Bridge, which is one of my favourite poses at the end of class. It's such a nice closing pose for the hips. Again, focusing on your upper body here, so relaxing through the forehead, relaxing through the jaw, and relaxing across the shoulders. Letting the belly feel soft here, letting the hips relax. Just bringing that attention back to the breath. Option to bring both hands to the belly again, as we did at the beginning of class. You can even bring one hand to the heart space and one hand to the belly. Just to focus on how you're feeling, and really tune into that breath, lifting your belly and your chest up to meet your hands. As you exhale, just letting go of anything you don't need to be holding on to right now, in your body or in your mind. Just allow yourself the rest of this class to relax, and hopefully take that feeling on into the rest of the day, the rest of the evening. Just a few more breaths here. From here, we're going to bring the knees in towards the chest. You're going to give yourself a nice big hug. So you're either wrapping your hands around your knees, or if you can't reach, bringing them to the backs of your knees, whichever feels good. Don't know if you could hear those knees cracking there. Across the country. Okay, and then from here we can rock slightly side to side. Up to you. You can stay still if you'd rather, just releasing some tension in your back. Remembering to stay nice and relaxed in your face and in your shoulders here. Okay, from here we're going to come into a twist. So I want you to reach your left hand out towards the side if you've got space. If you haven't got space, you can bring your hand almost like into a prong of a fork, like a cactus. Just using it as a sort of lever. From here we're going to bring the knees slowly over towards the right hand side, letting them relax on the ground. So if you're finding that your knees are struggling to come down, you can straighten your legs out a little bit more. If you want to increase the feeling of the twist, you can bring the knees a little bit closer in towards your torso, still resting on the ground. You want to be able to relax here. Lovely. Your gaze is turning towards the left side. Option to close your eyes. You're looking over that left arm. Right hand's resting on your leg or on your knee or on your belly. And again, just enjoying this stretch, so just relaxing through the spine, just seeing where you can let go. Okay, from here we're going to bring the knees slowly in towards centre. You can use your hands to help them up. Give yourself one more hug. And then we're going to bring the right hand out, so to balance out. So either stretching that right arm out long if you've got space, coming into that cactus arm if not, and then gently helping the knees over towards the left. Bringing the gaze over the right hand, right arm, and relaxing those left knees down. Feel free to kind of experiment with where it feels better, whether your legs are a bit straighter or a bit closer towards your chest. Again, resting the hands on the knees or on the belly. And bringing that attention back to the breath and seeing where you can let go of any tension through your body. So relaxing through the belly, relaxing through the spine. Letting those hips relax. A few more breaths here. Okay, and then when you're ready, slowly starting to bring those knees back up towards centre. Give yourself one more nice big hug. Big squeeze, nice big inhale, maybe bringing the chin up towards the knees, curl up into a little ball, and then exhale, let everything go out long. So straightening the legs out, bringing the hands on either side of the body. We're going to come into our final pose, Savasana. So from here, you want your palms facing up traditionally or facing down. If you want to feel more grounded, if you feel like you've been a bit all over the place, like many of us have, sometimes having palms down can help you feel a bit more grounded. If you're looking to embrace positivity and relax completely through the body, palms up can sometimes feel good. Wherever you are, just having a nice big deep breath. And then exhale and let your body feel heavy. Relaxing completely. Relaxing the attention away from your breath now. And allowing yourself this time for your body to rest. And just to absorb everything good you've just done for yourself. Relaxing across the forehead. Relaxing across the jaw. Letting the shoulders fall open. Letting the arms feel heavy and supported by the ground beneath you. Relaxing through the chest and through the back. Relaxing the belly, letting it feel soft. Bringing the attention to your hips. And releasing anything still holding on here. Moving down through each leg. Letting each leg completely relax and feel heavy and supported by the ground beneath you. And finally into your hands and your feet. Completely relaxing. Just letting your body find this stillness. Enjoy this quiet. I invite you here to pause the video, stay here for the next 5 to 10 minutes until you're ready to carry on with your day. Otherwise, starting to bring some movement into the fingers and the toes, starting to bring that attention back towards the breath. And when you're ready, taking as long as you need, bringing the knees slowly in towards the chest. Making your way over onto your right hand side, moving nice and slowly, keeping the eyes closed. Pausing here on your right side for a second. And then taking as long as you need to start to make your way back up to seated. When you're in seated, sitting up lovely and tall, bringing the hands to rest on the knees or in the lap. Taking one more nice big deep breath, deepest breath you've taken all day. Let it go through your mouth. Bringing the hands together at heart center. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you very much for joining us.